So we bring in elderly people into a group, into a hall today where they'll do different activities today. It's basically getting everybody out socialising.
How would I get to the Friendship Club in Downshacklin if I didn't have this? You see, I'd have to come up there, wait for a bus, get over to the village and walk the rest of the way down. And I'm not able to walk that far. So this is a gift. So it is.
TFI Local Link is providing rural transport to the community, so getting from villages to towns to all of the larger towns or local towns. We have door-to-door services where we'll pick up people at their door and bring them in, and those are typically once a week services. Then we also have regular rural services that go 7 days a week from early morning to late in the afternoon.
Basically, I'm the driver and we'll have Helen, who will be a PA. It's just an assistant in the back to assist with people getting on and off and looking after the clients.
We have 36 buses where we do rural transport, but also we do disability services. We would have a number of volunteer drivers, so we would offer kind of services that would get them to their health appointments. So this is something that is a gap area in the public transport for people getting to health appointments.
The local link here in Navan it's all about the community. It's all about, we've active groups, we have shopping groups, we bring people to hospitals. We also do extra work as well, but it's basically community transport.
We also then have another bank of volunteers throughout Loudmead and Fingal, where they would go and pick up people who maybe can't reach public transport or don't have any families. So they would be people of greater need and get them to their health appointments up to hospitals in Dublin.
Meath is very built up, but there's people very isolated. I'll call them, say, the day before the active group starts to see how they're going. Yeah, like some of them may not want to be able to be going every day. Isn't that correct, David?
Yeah, some use the service.
Yeah.
It depends on what service on. Some of them go in twice a week. Some could be just once a week.
True.
So that's how it is. It's kind of a little holiday for me as well, a break, you know, from the house. I do depend on this, I really do, and I thank them very much, very much. As
Helen says, it's kind of an out for the people to meet up. Like they're basically meeting up and having a cup of tea and a slice of cake, but it's the chat and the laugh you have with them, you know what I mean? You'd have to just see the way they go on. The happiness on people's faces is what it brings a joy to your own face, you know that way.
At the roundabout, take the first exit onto R125.
Somebody from rural Ireland to try and get up to Dublin to their hospital appointment. It could take an hour to get up there. They'll have to wait for them and an hour then back.
You know, a taxi from Meath, where we are in Navan, up to Dublin would cost an average of €150. You know, older people cannot afford to pay that. So the community transport is very important for them.
That level of financial cost out of their weekly pension would be just too much. And that's where we find that people would either not go for their appointment, they'll miss it because they can't afford it, or they will go but then they'll have no food to put on the table.
And I think I said to myself the first time I started, I would like to think if it was my mother, that someone would be bringing her up and giving her the same treatment we give our clients, because that's all you have to do. And it costs us nothing in life to do that, just to be nice to somebody and bring them up and make them comfortable. Because as I said, you could be worrying about why they're going up. You don't know what the worry is or why they're going up. So you just try and make it as best you can, the journey. And then if you have a group of people, sometimes what happens, some people are going up regular together. It becomes a big chat on the bus. And then I remember I was saying to Kathy, we'd be having a rant about what's going on in the government. And by the time we get up there, we forget about where we're going, you know that way? And they love all that.
Hi, how are you? You're welcome.
There can be sad days. I think I said that to you, like Helen said to you, a woman passed away. You could be bringing that woman in our service every day for the last 2 or 3 years. And then when you get the news that someone's at the pass, and it's hard.
A shock, yeah. You know, they all feel it,
yeah.
You know, like.
We've had some younger members that have passed on some of the HSE services, haven't they? On the
Yeah.
and that's heartbreaking. You know what I mean? It really is.
And trust is very important
Yeah,
for them.
100%.
Yeah, and you do see that with parents when the children are going into their units. They're happy to see them on the bus. They're happy that they can get the transport. You know, and that's a little bit of independence for children with special needs as well.
Yeah.
Because it takes a lot for them to go out of their safe comfort zone out into the big world as well. You know,
Yeah.
they need their independence as well.
And the destination is on your right.
There's some Google fantastic and air code finders.
Yeah, I'll let Helen have a chat right there. Hey, Geraldine. Are you able to manage Geraldine, yeah?
There you go, Geraldine.
No.
I'm Geraldine Smith with an I, and I've lived out here in Rathout for 19 years. Prior to that, I was in North County Dublin. It's a lovely village and has a lot going for it. I love it, and there's not much for the older generation to be out and about. We went to the community hall and we have our knitting matter and we have our aerobics in there. Flexibus would be great if it was taken away. Terrible inconvenience.
It's a marvellous service, really, you know, when you think about it. Sure, otherwise, how many people would have to stay in their home? You know, it's all very well when we're fit and well, you know. And all that kind of thing, but all these things happen anyway, so we just have to go with the flow, as the fella says, you know.
Flexibus, we'd be lost without it. I can guarantee that. It's something we can look forward to on a Thursday, having rang in and given our name, and knowing that you're going to be collected and have a good time in the Friday Club and brought back again.
We need to recognise that there is a huge need for community funding. There's a huge need for supporting people with disabilities and supporting elderly people in terms of public transport. So it's not just the general mass of young people or people who have no difficulty getting to a bus stops, but we have to look after the community and people who are not able to maybe get to a bus stop that's a few miles down the road.
The community bus is more than just a means of transport, it's a lifeline. By connecting people to towns, essential services and each other, it makes travel easier, more inclusive and more accessible for everyone. Want to see more stories like this? Comment, like and subscribe so you never miss a stop. I will see you all in the next VMX video.